good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time this reach you, I greet you. You already know what this is. Now, I can't really call this a day with EJ. Well, it is a day with EJ because she with me, but I can't really call it a day with EJ. So I'm going to call it I'm homeless again, and let me tell you why. Story time. But to tell you this story, I'm going to have to tell you another story. So I came home from prison in like 2015, 2016. And I met this tall drink of water at a gas station when I was still hustling. Like I was still playing in the streets, you know what I'm talking about? So that's a kind of a whole different ball game, right? But I'll explain later. Just keep up with the story if you get what I'm saying. So I'm playing in the streets, and me and her, I end up trying to knock her down because that's the type of time I was on at the time, and it just was what it was. So I shot my shot at her, then I shot my shot at her again, then I shot my shot at her again. I wiggled in, right? But please keep in mind, I'm hustling at the time, and you know what comes with hustling. A lot of females, a lot of drugs, a lot of guns, a lot of negativity, all of the nonsense that come with playing in the streets. When I was playing in the streets, I was completely with all of the shenanigans. There's no reason in me telling a lie to you. I was with all the shenanigans, and I was kind of good at it. I got caught a couple times, but you can only imagine how many times I got away with it. Right? So at the time, me and her doing what we doing, and one late night ended up being 2 late nights, 3 late nights, and then we just kind of wiggled into some form of a relationship, and then she put it on me that she wanted to be monogamous. She wanted a monogamous relationship. And I ain't even gonna tell you no lie. You know what I did? I'm gonna tell you the honest God truth. There's no reason to me lying to you since I'm telling the story and I got your attention. When she let me know that she wanted to be in a monogamous relationship, I broke up with her. Straight up, I did. I broke up with her because that ain't what I was on. Like, I was literally on doing what it was that I was trying to be doing, and being in a monogamous relationship wasn't my thing at the moment. But what I did was, while I did that, I actually let her know what the business was. Like, I'm breaking up with you because I don't want to be in a monogamous relationship. I just came home from jail. I'm with all the shenanigans and functions, if you understand what I'm saying. That being the case, like, I just wanted to preserve our friendship because I'm really big on that. Like, I'll really be cool with the majority of the women that I dealt with throughout my entire life. We still kind of friends. I can literally count on one hand the number of women that I don't talk to, or I can't talk to, or even the fact I don't want to talk to, that I've been with in my whole life. And I'm not gonna say that's a large number, but I'd be telling you a lie if I didn't tell you that it was well over 1,000, easy, couple, few, several, right? Whatever you might want to call it, right? It's gonna be what it's gonna be. I was promiscuous. Like, that's what one of my exes used to call me. She used to tell me that you promiscuous. So instead of being promiscuous, I broke up with her, and I maintained our friendship, and then I went on with my life. Anybody who been following on my social media, you already kind of know what I did with my life while I was gone. But I ended up in Decatur because Decatur is not Atlanta. Is it, EJ? We was in Decatur. That is not Atlanta. Then we was in Atlanta because that's Atlanta. But while I was down there, we kind of got back in touch with each other, and I told her everything that I had going on, the plan I had to get an RV, and that I wanted to travel the world and see the sights and enjoy myself in a way that words can't begin to describe to you. And she was with the function, right? Like, I kind of played it out for her how somehow just being my normal, regular, everyday self, enjoying time with my fur baby has made me popular in the social media world, and I could possibly figure out how to wiggle away to be able to support myself while I see the world. And I don't want to do it by myself. I want somebody to go with me. So we went through the schematics, fast forward, I find myself back in St. Louis, kind of in the same spot I was in when we met in the first place. That's what kind of made it like seem like it was kind of meant to be, because I was right back standing in the same place I was standing at when I met her. So different is I actually have over 1 million followers, and I'm playing in the social media realm. I no longer sell drugs. I don't live the lifestyle that I used to live, so I don't act like I used to act. And I could be monogamous to you because I don't need a bunch of females. Small quip, let me put this out there. I know I'm probably gonna ruin the relationships of a lot of drug dealers, but if you play in the streets, then you probably have 4, 5, or 6 different women. And let me tell you why, so you understand that it's not really about the cheating aspect of it. It's more so having a safe haven in any part of the city that you might be in, right? Because if you're doing something that you ain't got no business doing, running from the police and leaving your car for your freedom is one of the things that you are willing to do when you live that lifestyle, and you kind of don't want to have to run for. If you get yourself in that situation, you already know you can get out a couple blocks from her and hoof it to her house and be chilling until you figure out what you're going to do from there. But that's neither here nor there. I don't live that lifestyle no more. So I'm back in the same spot, but I'm kind of in a different place in life. And this where it get tricky at. She want to get into a relationship. I do too, but I want some form of an agreement, because I'm tired of getting into relationships, taking somebody's word for it, if you get what I'm saying. And when I thought about how marriage was a contract, I felt like I should put together a relationship contract. If you follow my Facebook page, then you already know what I'm talking about. I posted about it like 6 months ago. I was gonna get into a 6-month relationship contract, and I did, right? So this how that played itself out. I literally reached out to my attorney, shout out Stacy, right, for some legal advice on putting together a relationship contract so I can kind of set the standard of what I want in a relationship, and my partner can set the standard of what they want in a relationship, and we can kind of have it in writing to go by. Now, I don't know if I mentioned this at the beginning of this video, and I know I didn't. None of this stuff is coming from an emotional place. I'm not telling you the emotional side of the story, right? I had a whole bunch of emotions throughout this whole ordeal, but none of them I'm gonna talk about like that. I ain't gonna tell you about my emotions. I'm gonna tell you what I did, because regardless of the fact of my emotions, I still have to think rationally. I guess I should tell you now, I'm a 2-time convicted felon. I don't have the luxury of making a mistake. That means everything in the world to me. Waking up free in the morning means everything in the world to me. It might not mean nothing to most people, but I can't be locked into what they got going on. I'm talking about myself here. It means everything in the world to me. And that's just kind of what it is and what it's going to be if you let me tell it. So I reached out to my attorney. I got everything that she wanted on the list, and it was so beautiful because everything that I kind of wanted to put on the list, she put it on the list. Communication, quality time, understanding, all of the things that I'm into. The only thing that I added to the list was I needed her to be with the move. And when I say be with the move, what I mean was, in the breakdown, I run a company. I am trying to build a brand. What, EJ? Here. No, you want it. Here, take it. I am trying to build a brand. So I'm going to need you to be with the move. I'm going to need you to rep for the company and all of that, and be part of the functions and the shenanigans that's going to come with me trying to build this brand, because she had been in my life since my mother was alive. So she should understand. In my mind, she understood the bigness of the idea, right? The greatness of what I'm trying to put together. A movement that'll make sure that my mother's name live forever. Right? I don't know if you've seen my mama's funeral, but I was there, and I said it right to her face that I was going to do everything in my power to make sure that my mama's name live forever. Her memory is going to live forever. If I have anything to do with it and anybody to deal with me, they got to understand the seriousness of that. So I tried to put it all the way on the line for her so she could see what it was. And She said she understood. So moving right along, we got the contract together, and I posted it for my social media. Go look on my Facebook. It's public. You won't have to scroll back a long time, but when you find it, you will see what I'm talking about. So we moving forward with a relationship because now we have a contract. It's a 6-month thing. That being the case, the first couple of days of the contract were amazing, right? We did parks and activities and functions and cooking and all of that. Couple weeks into it, everything was kind of fine. Around that third, fourth week, here it came. Oh, left something out in the story. Let me bring this back. As soon as we got into the relationship, being that I'm a brand and all of that, I offered her. I know this finna sound strange, and I know you're gonna be like, I know he didn't. I know he didn't do nothing like that. I know he didn't do that. And she said no, but I did. I offered her the passwords to all of my social media so she could be a part of what I got going on, not just be looking at it from the outside in. She'd be able to look at it from the inside out the same way that I do. You know what she said? She said no. She didn't want to be a part of that. She didn't want to help with the nonsense and the shenanigans that come with having so many followers and being something like a public figure to the people. She didn't want no parts of that. And I'm cool with it. The only problem I had with it was this right here. After she said no, that she didn't want it, I put it into the atmosphere that when she decides to change her mind, right, and to have a thought, a care, or a concern from the inside looking out, do not take it personally if I have the same nonchalant attitude about it that she had when I offer her all access to it. You get what I mean when I'm saying that? You don't get it, do you? Well, let me explain it to you. So 3-4 weeks into it, somebody said something on my live, and I responded to it in my usual, normal, regular, everyday means, and that just was what it was. Edna Jane, you are not getting any. Now, you could get down, you could lay down, or you can go play, whichever one you want to do. But until I decide to give you some, you can't have any. And that's that. Don't kiss me. I don't want to love you right now. No. Back to what I was saying, though. Right. 3-4 weeks in, somebody said something on one of my lives, and I responded to it the way that I respond to it. Right. And I heard about it. Like, oh, you call everybody lover or love or whatever it is, or sweetheart or whatever it may be, whatever word or term I used when I was talking to that lady that I ain't never met a day in my life. I don't know what I called her. I probably called her love, lover, whatever it was. I'm a 70s baby. I was brought up to talk to women like that. Forgive me. That's just how I talk. Hey, love. How you doing, sweetheart? What's the word? Beautiful and all of that. What's up, baby? What's going on? Those are the things that I do. I say yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am, and yes, sir, and no, sir. I was raised in that era, and I still do those things. You can't judge me for that. I'm always gonna do it. You'll never be able to take it away from me. It's like my conversation. It just kind of come with me. You can't do nothing about that. So when she brought it up, I laughed, and I think that touched her. But I didn't really pay it no mind because I told her that when she decided to have a personal opinion about my social media, that I was gonna have the same energy that she had when I offered her access to deal with it herself. You don't have to tell me about a comment or none of that because you could deal with it yourself. You could entertain that nonsense yourself. I don't have to. First month get passed, second month get passed, third month get passed. Now that's when the comfortability starts to set in, when you start being comfortable with the person that you're around, and you stop doing the things that you normally used to do, right? The things that you did to keep me comfortable, the things that you normally did, those things you stop doing once you get comfortable with a person, and I understand it. So once she got comfortable with me, I told her that she was getting comfortable with me, and that caused an argument when the first clause in our contract was communication. We are supposed to be able to communicate like adults. And I'm into that because I know how to talk and I'm not afraid to talk. So I'm with it. We making it make sense. Moving right along, we get to month number 4, and then it happened. She got something on her chest, and the something that she got on her chest is she's trying to do something, and she don't have the finances to make it make sense the way that she wanted to make sense, and that was kind of it. And I was kind of confused because I was lost because nobody told me to give you no money. To give you some money, you got to ask for it, right? You have to open your mouth. It's called communication, right? And communication ain't really the thing. Comprehension is being able to comprehend. People be thinking they be communicating, but they don't be comprehending. Stop, Edna, Jean, right? Stop. I'm talking. You can't have all my attention. You so bad. I tried to record this video on my phone, but I didn't have enough storage. I straight got like 12, 13 minutes into doing this, and my phone decided that wasn't no more videos gonna be recorded in that thing until I delete some space or I buy some storage. And I'm not buying no storage, so I'm just gonna delete some eventually and make it make sense. Month four we started to get complacent, and I'm having a problem with it. And she finally erupts, and this is how it plays itself out. Mind you, I'm telling you, this is not coming from an emotional perspective because my emotions have nothing to do with my actions or my conversation or anything like that. I can be as emotional as I want to be. You'll never know it because I wear my emotions on my sleeve. I told you what was wrong with me in the first place, right? I don't have to sit you down and tell you that something bothered me because as soon as it bothered me, I put you up on game. Like that bothered me, I pull you to the side. I don't have time to be holding on to anything because that's not my thing. And once I let go of it, I'm still not holding on to the remnants of it neither. And what I mean by that is when we did finally have the first breach in communication, it was because she couldn't open her mouth and tell me what she needed. Whose fault is that? That definitely can't be my fault. And I always ask, like, what's up, baby? You all right? You cool? You need something or whatever? And what I found out after this incident, where a whole bunch of stuff came up that had happened previous to that nobody spoke on, and that's the part that be kind of throwing me off. If you say something to me about something that happened a few weeks ago, and I look at you like I don't know what you talking about, nor am I concerned about it, it's because I stopped thinking about what happened a few weeks ago. If it was a problem now, then it was a problem then. You could have said something then. Holding on to that little piece of information don't hurt nobody but you, because I ain't paying it no attention, and I'm not going to argue with you about something that you could have opened your mouth and said something about. But you didn't. You held on to it until I had something that I wanted to say to you. And then you brought it up to use as ammunition in the fight. And that just be so weird to me. I'm talking about, it be so weird to me. Get down, right? Get down. Now you just doing it for my attention, right? It be so weird to me when women do that. And it happens to me all the time. I'm talking about so many times. It's so, oh Lord, it be the craziest thing ever. It just be popping out in such a way, bring up something from a year ago. Like, I'm going to really be tripping off of that. But that's the things that people do. So we in 4, right? And then I'm starting to see all of the habits, right? All of the things that you don't see in the first few months, I'm starting to see them. So as I'm starting to see these things, this is where I messed up at, and I already know it, but this is where I messed up at. As I'm starting to see these habits and qualities that I don't like at all, they don't turn me on, right? So I'm not really turned on. I don't really want, you know what I'm saying? I don't really want them guts because I'm not really turned on by your behavior. So, I kind of slowed down on that month 5, right? I kind of slowed down on doing the normal things that I do, and if you already know me, you know I'm nasty. I'm gonna do all that nasty stuff to you. I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna pull your hair, my voice deep, all of the beautiful things that a woman wants from her man. I'm gonna give you all of that and more because I'm going to ask you what you like, and I am going to remember it, and I'm gonna take advantage of it when I'm liking you. If you get what I'm saying, but that's neither here nor there. But what I did was I slowed down and I waited for her to bring it up because we gonna communicate whether you want to talk to me or not. You gonna have to, because you're not gonna get that good loving that you so used to and that have you acting in a certain type of way. If you don't come pull up on me and talk to me about it, I ain't just gonna keep giving it to you and you not giving me the things that makes me want to give it to you. You just want to sit in the house all day. You don't want to do nothing. You don't want to wash clothes on the day you supposed to wash them. You ain't doing nothing, but you don't want to do nothing. That is very unattractive, and I don't get aroused by that. That don't really do much for me in that type of manner, if you get what I'm saying. And that just kind of is what it is. But in defense to that, I'm not withholding it from you. Stop cussing at me. I see your ball. I do not want. I'm having a conversation. You so jealous. Go. Like I was saying, I do not, under any circumstances, go withhold it from you if you want it. If you get what I mean by that, like you doing things in your life that I am not attracted to. I'm not attracted to stagnation. I'm not attracted to procrastination. That is an unattractive quality to me, and I don't be getting aroused by that. But if you want it, if you are aroused by whatever it is that I got going on and you want to do that to me, then I'm going to give it to you. I'm not going to deny it. And I'm going to give you some help. I swear for Lord, I'm going to give you some help in such a way. But all of the normal nasty stuff, the sucking your toes and all of that, those are things that I do because I like to do them, not because you like them, if you get what I'm saying. Yeah, like that. Like, I'm going to do those things to my woman because I like them. I like to suck her toes and see what she, you know what I'm saying, lick the back of her leg, all those little nasty things. You know, if you heard or read any one of my books, you already know what type of person I am. Yeah, I'm really like that in real life, but I'm not going to really go into that because that don't really have anything to do with the story, and that just kind of is what it is. But I think it does because I wasn't doing the normal things that I was doing, but I wasn't getting what I was getting to even do those things. Like if you don't put no gas in your car, it don't run, right? If there's no food in the refrigerator, you can't cook. I don't know where the miss is right there, right? But that's just me. It's gonna kind of be what it's gonna be. And forgive me, as I'm looking at this camera, I bought this lady an iPhone and she broke it. Right, she broke it. Right, didn't say nothing. All the back glass cracked. She ain't said nothing about it because it was my stuff. And people treat your things like, you know what I'm saying? Bought an iPhone, she could have one. She never turned it on. She would just use it on Wi-Fi. That was just weird, but let's just get off of that. That's neither here nor there. But I'm not attracted to that, so I can't really give you the play, but I ain't doing no cheating or none of that. But I didn't bring this up though. Like every couple weeks, like the cheating thing would come up and that would bother me, but that's gonna come into play later on. So we getting into month 6 and she didn't had enough of me withholding, so she jumped on top of it. And I do what I'm supposed to. I give her some help. Like I'm supposed to. I give her the help. She gonna get all of the help like she's supposed to. EJ, there go your ball. Get it. I'm not getting it. I gave her the help like I was supposed to. And when it was over with, I let her know, like, you more than welcome to get on it. She's like, well, what took you so long? You more than welcome to do whatever you want to do, right? My mind not on that because I have some whole other stuff going on in my life. I'm not going to tell you the part about where I asked her to be part of the movie because she didn't want to be part of that. I ain't going to bring up that I wanted her to be the president of EJ Fan Club, and she didn't want to do that. I'm not gonna bring up that I was trying to set up my YouTube and get my channel monetized and all of that. If a commercial came on when you was watching this video, that's what I'm talking about getting my channel monetized. And I told her to keep up with it so me and her could discuss it regularly. She ain't do it. I'm gonna leave all that out. I'm gonna just say that I was withholding because I wasn't aroused by it, and I was doing all of the stuff that I was supposed to be doing at the time because I'm trying to set my life up, because I want me and EJ, and I wanted her and her daughter, like, you know what I'm saying, to see the world. I'm not gonna bring up the daughter or none of that because I don't want to speak on that. I don't want to speak on that at all. Let's just say that probably wasn't gonna work out, and it didn't really have nothing to do with me. It's important. You can't tell people how to raise their children, and if you my child, I'm supposed to be able to raise you like you supposed to be raised. But that's neither here nor there. We are in the month 5, and she finally decided that she wanted it, and I gave it to her, and then we went back. You know what I'm saying? We getting well into month 6, and it come back up like, well, what's the problem? You're not attracted to me? Well, no, you don't really do what you normally be doing. Like, I love you and all of that, but if you get back on track and start doing the things that you normally do, then I'm gonna be aroused to do the things that I normally do. Edna Jean, if you don't play with your ball and stop trying to get my attention, I will bite you in the face. I will bite you in the face. Forgive me, I be having those type of conversations with my child. But we moved on, and it was what it was. So that's how we was playing. If she wanted it, then she could get it. But she ain't really doing what she's supposed to be doing, and I'm still doing what I'm doing. I have good communication. We still going places and all of that, and took the lady out of town and all that, all on my dime. She ain't spent $1 on me. Right? Really kind of be that just kind of irked my soul a little bit too. But we don't really get into it. But that's gonna come into play later when the final argument happened, right? So let's fast forward to that argument. I come in the house, I ain't really did nothing. I sent the lady a text to let her know that I wanted her to be ready, because in my mind we right at the 6th month where we need to start rediscussing this contract, and I want to go on, and you know what I'm saying, I might want to go and knock her down. So I sent her a message to get in the shower, get yourself together, you know what I'm saying, it's time, stop playing with me. Right, so I sent her a message to be ready, man, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna be that time when I get there. So when I walk through the door, I come in on my normal little trip, man, you know, doing what I normally be doing in my real regular everyday life. And when I walk through the door, she get to tripping with me, like, about some social media nonsense and some cheating, right? I ain't tell you at the beginning of this video, Energy, as a matter of fact, you're not even getting no treats. When I'm finished, you really gonna be mad. If you mad now, you're really gonna be upset, right? Because you ain't getting no treats before we get it out of here. So I come in the door and she go right in with something about my social media, and at this point, I don't talk about my social media because you don't want to be a part of it. So there's no reason to me holding those type of conversations with you. And on the flip side of the coin, I post content all throughout the day. So anything that you might want to know, Energy, you finna irk my, get up there. Sit down. Y'all wanna see her, here she go, right? She just gonna be on her trip with me, and I don't really even understand it. Energy, and I ain't did nothing to you. Right, you need to get out your body before you mess up our evening, and you don't get no more snacks or treats or none of that. Do you hear me? That being what it is, right? The lady started going on me, like, about what I don't do. What I don't do. I do everything I'm supposed to do. I got a couple dollars when you need it. It's not my fault that your pride makes you not ask for it. I can't be the bad. And then it came up. Well, something along the lines of, before you cheat on me, I would just prefer if you break up with me. And that was the last straw. I had enough. It's a Tuesday. Anybody that know me know what Tuesday mean to me. So I'm like, man, listen, let me get you all the way together, man. Listen, every time you bring up some cheating, you know what that says to me? That says to me that you don't trust my word. My word don't mean nothing to you, because I gave you my word, not only in a written fashion of a contract for a relationship, but also right out my mouth that I ain't on cheating on you. That's why we got into this relationship, because I understand that I need to be monogamous, right? And I understood that when I told it to you, and every time you bring it up, it just cut a little bit deeper, that you bringing up something that we had a good conversation about. And when we had the conversation, I swear for Lord, before it was over with, I made sure that I said, so we cool, we don't have to ever discuss this again, do we? And she was like, no, we ain't got to talk about it. Cool. I offer you all access to my life to ensure that we don't never have to talk about it. You can look at it yourself. I don't have to worry about it. But if you don't want it, you can't never be mad at me that I don't care. That, you know what I'm saying? Once it becomes important to you, you can't get mad. You have to start the conversation and bring up the fact that you change your mind. Not I didn't change my mind, you change your mind. I never understood that when dealing with people, but a person will change their mind and not even inform you that they changed their mind, and then get mad at you that you not with they mind change that you knew nothing about. Just happened to be the weirdest thing ever. I do not understand it, and I'm not even trying to. I am chasing my dream, and that's gonna be what it's gonna be all the way. But back to her going on me. So the lady is going on me, so I let her know, man, you cutting me deep every time you say that. Well, this is how I feel. And how you feel really don't matter to me, because this is not an emotional conversation or story time that I'm having with you. We are talking like two rational adults, and two rational adults, emotion don't come into the conversation unless you are just explaining the emotion that you feel, not it's coming from an emotional place. Those are two different things. I do not understand it, and it just kind of is what it is. I let people know that when they deal with me, I say it all the time, my emotion is different, and I act like it. So as we run through the gamut of this conversation of her going on me, getting louder and louder and louder and louder, I'm steady telling her to kind of bring it down a few octaves, because I'm a 2-time convicted felon, and I'm not going to jail arguing with you because you in your body and I'm not in mine. So I walk off, I leave her. She say something to me along the lines of what I don't do, and I just pay the bill, right? Like the whole bill. But I don't never even be there for real. Anybody who know my social media know I be outside all the time. I paid the whole bill, whatever the bill was, I paid it, and I rarely use it. But I paid the bill and I don't do anything. That just kind of hurt my soul. So I just kind of walked off. Like, man, I'm just going to stop talking to you, because this conversation finna go left fast. And I love you. I don't really want to go left with you. But this conversation going to go left fast if you keep talking to me like that. I walk off. The lady follow me because emotions are involved. And you know, once emotions get involved, they start getting high. But I am a convicted felon. My emotions don't get involved, because you got to keep in mind, I'm not going to jail playing with you. Not at all. Right, as soon as you get loud with me, I don't care who you are, where we are, what we got going on. As soon as you get loud with me, I'm getting away from you, because I see that you not using your mind. That's coming from a whole different place, right? It ain't coming from the logical side of your mind of expressing yourself and all of that. Is coming from the emotional fight or flight side, and I don't want to talk to them type of people. Them type of people scare me. Right, so I go in the other room try to get away from the situation, because I'm not for that nonsense, and I don't want to hear it, because I ain't did nothing. Right, trying to do something to her, and she is on her trip for whatever reason it is that she on her trip. Get in the other room, she followed me in there with the same nonsense. I'm like, man, listen, do I need to leave because you're not leaving me alone? I don't really have to be here. I'm here because I want to be here, and because you talked me into it. I left that out too. The fact that she talked me into using my rational side to give up my apartment, my room that I was renting. She talked me into giving it up so I could save money. But that wasn't really what I was doing. I gave up my room so I could put that money that I was spending on my room into our household. I didn't really get to save it at all. But that's neither here nor there, man. You know that to come with it, you have to kind of, if you stay here, you need to put a couple dollars in, and I ain't got no problem with it, and all the receipts to prove it. You know that's what's important. You know people be want proof, right? All the receipts to prove it. You know Cash Out work well, and you know I know when I went and got some money out the bank and what I used it for. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you can't really talk to me about that type of stuff. So I'm like, man, I really need to leave, right? Do I need to leave? And she like, do you want to leave? I'm like, if I wanted to leave, I would have left already, right? I don't really want to leave. I just want you to leave me alone because you on your trip, and I don't know what you on your trip for. I ain't did nothing to you, right? You want to talk to me about cheating. You know I don't cheat. You want to talk to me about not doing nothing. You know for a fact, I always do something, right? I do whatever you ask me to do, and whatever you don't ask me to do, I'm not a mind reader, and I ain't gonna be one. But you know how women are, right? They expect they man to know them and do what they want them to do without them having to tell me, man, I am a whole different type of animal, man. If you don't open your mouth and tell me what you want me to do so I can do it, I read the instructions. I don't look at the box. I am a completely different type of person. I read the instructions. If you can't give me instructions, then I can't do it. And anything that I want you to do, I'm going to give you some instructions on it. That's the difference. If I want you to do something for me, I'm going to give you instructions on how I want you to do it for me because I want you to do it for me. Tell you how to do it. Don't try to switch it up and do it the way you want to do it. No, I'm going to do it the way when you want me to do something, I'm gonna do it the way you want me to do it, not the way I want to do it, putting my little twist on it. I don't understand that, but it kind of is what it is. You know, different strokes for different folks, and that be what it's gonna be, and it is what it is. The lady just keep going. I'm talking about she keep going and she keep getting louder and louder. I even think she started throwing stuff, right? And this, that, and the third. And at that point, as soon as something hit the floor that sounded like it could have been a disturbance, it's time for me to go. I started getting my things together because I'm leaving, right? I am not staying there. As I'm getting my things together, she like, yeah, get out. Oh, cool. Even better. Now you telling me to leave. Really, I'm really getting them together now. I just start speeding up, right? I do not want to talk. I done kind of close my mouth. I don't really have anything else to say because not only is you causing a scene, but I am definitely getting away from you now that you done told me that I need to leave your premises. I'm out of here. You're right. So I try to get all the stuff together, and as I get the majority of it together, I'm not telling you that I got everything and I know a whole bunch of stuff that I didn't get, and I'm gonna tell you what I did with the stuff, right, when she tried to give it back to me, but that's later. So I'm trying to get all my stuff together, so I get all of me and EJ stuff together, and I kind of got it kind of piled up by the door. I'm finna take it out. I'm gonna start taking it out, right? Boom, I'm trying to get everything. I'm looking for everything that might be everywhere, you know, because when you live with somebody, you have stuff all over the place. You don't be thinking about trying to pack it, because you don't have no reason to be going nowhere. I didn't have a reason to be going nowhere. I wasn't doing nothing but being my normal, regular, everyday self and trying to build my brand and come home and jam with the missus and all this, that, and the third, and not be social with our relationship because she didn't want to be social with it. I'm just doing as I was instructed. I'm following the contract that I digi-signed the same way she digi-signed it. I'm following that, right? Everything on there, and being and giving her the D was not in the contract, right? It wasn't in the contract that I need to regularly touch her soul. Like, no, that wasn't in there, right? That wasn't in there. At no point in the contract that part wasn't in there. So when that came up, like me not hitting it, I'm not hitting it because that's not on my mind, right? You more than welcome to get it. You more than welcome to get up there and ride it all you like, right? I got some hip for you, but that's it, right? If you want it, you can get it. I don't want it. When my mind on wanting it, I want it. But if my mind not on wanting it, I don't. What you want me to put on a lackluster performance? I'm not doing that. But I kind of get the stuff. I kind of get the majority of our stuff together, and I start taking a couple items to the car. By the time I made it back from my second run to the car, all our stuff was in the hallway, and the door was locked. I been gave her keys back when she told me to leave. Soon as she told me, yeah, you need to leave, I gave her keys back because that wasn't my place of residence anymore. I was leaving, right? You told me to leave, right? I was just gonna kind of get away from you, and you know what I'm saying, come back later, but that ain't what you wanted, and I don't want it with you, right? So all our stuff in the hallway, I'm talking about, I feel low. I ain't gonna tell you that you know what I'm saying, that I had pride in it. Man, I done been put out a whole lot of places in a whole lot of different type of ways. And this one wasn't the worst one by far. But it was the conversation that went with it, right? Like, I still got some stuff in there, and you won't open the door and let me get my things out of your house, right? And I'm leaving. I'm not tripping with you or none of that. I'm trying to get all of the things that belong to me and my baby, and I'm going to get up out your way, and you want to hold on to them. But I know why you want to hold on to them, because you going to feel like they're holding on to those things because they mean a little bit of something to me, that you going to be able to talk to me again. But you put the majority of our things in the hallway and then locked the door and wouldn't let us back in. Like we did something to you. But, you know, it be like that, man. People have their trips, and they be on their trips, and they be on their power things. But let me finish. So when I'm getting all the stuff out that's in the hallway. Now, she done came outside because she not finished talking to me. I didn't completely shut up. I have nothing else to say. You done already told me what it is, though I ain't on nothing, right? And I'm just gonna go with the mood because I don't have a choice in the matter. And I don't. And then the lady started calling me out my name and telling me how I ain't this and how I ain't never gonna be this and that. I'm not gonna use the profanity that she used for me because somebody's child might pop in and watch this video, right? So I don't really need them hearing me doing a whole lot of cussing and acting out and being ignorant and all of that, because that ain't my thing. And I don't put that on people, right? I do it in my personal life, but I don't put that out there to the world because I know that it's not a good thing. I just do it, right? So I don't promote it. I don't promote cussing or none of that, because though I do it, I don't want to put it out to the world. I don't have to do it. I do it because that's what I choose to do. And if you choose to do it, that's on you. I can't knock you for that, but I'm trying to put myself in a better place in life where I don't have to worry about that. I want to be on TV one day or something, like my own show. Me and EJ doing whatever it is that we doing. See, she back there doing what she be doing. She holding the show down, if you get what I'm saying. I get EJ in the car though, and then she still going on me. So I get all our stuff, man. And you know what I'm saying? That I could get, right? I couldn't get all of it, but I got the majority of it. And then we got it out of there. I wasn't really tripping off of it because I've learned to keep a storage unit and to keep it in my name. Don't ask me why it didn't happen before. I already know, keep a storage unit, keep it in your name, somewhere to put your stuff, just in case things go crazy, because that power play, people use that. But I get all the stuff. And before I leave, the lady said the wildest thing ever to me. She told me that you don't have any emotions. I was doing this to get a reaction from you, and you ain't gonna get one. Like I said, I'm a 2-time convicted felon, man. I gotta think about my freedom before I think about anything else. Right? Number one. Number two, right, which is just as important as my freedom, man, my pride. You could treat me any type of way you want to, but you only gonna get to do it one time, right? You could put me out, but you can only do it one time. I'll never give you the opportunity to do it again. I sleep on a park bench before I let you treat me like that again, because I wouldn't do it to you. And number three, this is the most important part. When reality dawned on her on what she did, she reached out, and I'm talking about so many messages to prove everything that I told you in the first place. I'm not gonna post them though, but so many messages, right, to try to mend the broken fence, but it's unmendable, right? You put me out, you embarrassed me, you treated me any type of way for no reason at all, because you were having an internal issue that you couldn't vocalize when our relationship was set up not only by agreement but by contract, that communication was the number one thing in our relationship. And if you can't abide by the number one thing in our relationship, I am certain with everything in me, every fiber in my being, I mean, in such a way, every fiber, I feel like you're not gonna be for anything else. And you're not gonna be for trying to see the world with me. You're not gonna be for understanding good parenting and what I be having going on. That's why I didn't speak on the child, because it's not my child. I can't tell you how to raise your kids. I don't care who you are. I can tell you how to raise mine, but if it's mine, then we gonna raise it. I got some say in how they get raised. If I have no say, then I don't speak on it. It's not my thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not my thing, but boy, I would love to tell y'all about that. You wouldn't believe me if I told you. You wouldn't believe. I think some of it is against the law. I swear for Lord. I swear for Lord, I think some of that stuff is against the law. Like CPS, I'm gonna have to find somebody to work at CPS just to ask them, is that against? Then I'll keep y'all posted. I'll post it somewhere one day, like, yeah, that was against the law. But I never tell y'all. Like, forgive me, I ain't gonna tell y'all that part, because we gonna leave that out. You don't bring the kids up. Just let that go. Just the adult in this, right? When reality set in, man, it's a whole lot of apologizing. I blocked her from my phone and most of my social media. I forgot to block her from my Instagram, and that is where she found herself, right? And she been there for days and days, right? I have never had a longer conversation with a person, right, that didn't want to talk to me in person. Right? She put more words in these little texts trying to apologize for what happened than she ever did in any conversation that we had when I was there with her face to face. And I just feel like that's a red flag that I am definitely not gonna deal with. Now we homeless. I put it out there, man. It just is what it is, man. The truth is, I want an RV, so I don't want to lock myself into a lease, right? I don't want to be homeless neither, but I know if I get somewhere to stay, then I'm gonna go broke. All the money that I have, all the little paper that I got put up to try to put towards an RV, I know I'm gonna have to spend it on first, last, deposit, then furniture, right? Because you can't live nowhere without no furniture, and then, you know, all the other things. I tried to get my room back, but she rented it out, right? Weirdest thing ever. I can't stay in a hotel. I can't afford it. I probably could afford it for a couple weeks, a month or so. But why would I give them people all that money when I don't? No, that don't make sense to me. I've been put out a whole bunch of times. The only thing that's different about this time and the last few times I've been put out is that I actually can afford to go to a hotel if I can't take it. I can afford to, but I just don't see logically spending all that money and not being able to get anything out of it except for a couple hours worth of sleep. That being what it be, man. I hope y'all understand, man. It's the story. That's the story. Right, the lady violated the contract I'm talking about in such a way because communication was first. I ain't do nothing bad. Like, these be the wild situations for me because I always find myself in a situation where I ain't even do nothing and it went left on me. But that's just how it go. But the only difference with me is once it go left on me, you can't make it right. Y'all have a good day and be safe, man. You know, that just is what it is, man. I'm gonna try to figure my situation out and get my plan A together because I've never had a plan B. You can never have a plan B when you doing whatever it is that you do in life. And let me tell you why before I let you go. The reason why you can't have a plan B is because if you have a plan B, then you will never put all your energy into plan A. And I want to always put all my energy into plan A. Good day. Hey now. And fade the black.